Hi, I'm Carl with Apt, and this is the QN65Q7FN. It's part of Samsung's 2018 lineup of QLED TVs, and in this video we'll talk about the features and specs that make this a TV worth checking out for your home theater. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, you can pick one of these up at Apt in Glenview or online at apt.com. Starting off on the outside, we'll touch on the design a little bit. This TV looks really nice, just kind of sitting there. It's got a super thin bezel, which is almost invisible, and a slightly kind of polished silver trim on the outside, along with a silver pedestal that attaches in the center of the TV on the back. It's also got some cable management built into it in the form of this silver plastic cover and a couple of little clips to hold the One Connect cable in place. The pedestal is just a little over 36.5 inches wide, so make sure to take that into account if you're going to be setting this up on a stand. On the back of the set, the only connection you'll find is for the One Connect cable. The cable has two distinct ends too, so make sure the one with the 90-degree bend is the one that you're plugging into the TV. From there, you plug the other end into the One Connect box, which on this TV is bigger than last year's since the power supply for everything is built inside of that. So it's a bigger box, but you only have to plug in one power cord. Power is then supplied to the TV through the One Connect cable, which you'll also notice is a little thicker than the cable that came on last year's models, but it's still pretty thin. On the One Connect box, you have 4 HDMI inputs, with one having an audio return channel. There's also 3 USB connections, an Ethernet port, RS-232C mini connection, coaxial connection for an antenna, and an optical audio output. Now, the sound quality on this one isn't terrible, but like I say with most sets now, you'll want to consider a soundbar or a surround system to really get the most out of the experience. It's a 40-watt, 4.1 channel setup built in, so again, not bad, just not enough. You also get Bluetooth built into this as well, so you're going to have some wireless options too. Now moving on, we'll talk about some of the fun features on this set. Samsung's included ambient mode, which is similar to what we saw on the frame TV that came out last year. It lets you have an image on the screen that doesn't really use a ton of power, so instead of just being a big black rectangle on your wall, it can actually give you some useful information. Some of the screens have things like the time or weather or just an image to make it look less boring, really. It's a great idea and it's well executed on this set. Next up is Bixby, and I have mixed thoughts on this one. It's a handy feature, but I was finding myself having to say things exactly as the TV wanted them said for them to actually work. There's other voice-operated systems out there that seem a little better at understanding the meaning of what you're saying instead of looking for the exact commands, but it did work when I said the things the correct way, so I can't really complain too much. It lets you do things like change the picture options, you can look up a subject online, check the weather, control channel or volume up and down, and because this works with SmartThings devices, you can also check compatible cameras around your home or turn the lights on and off. You can even see how much time is left on a washer dry cycle in your laundry room. So it's got some cool features built in. Now, we don't have this set up for those types of actions in our store at the moment, so I don't have a live demo for you on that part, but you can check out the video that we took in their booth at CES 2018 to see some of these cool Bixby features in action. And the voice control is all done right through the Samsung Smart Remote. It's a simple design with only a few buttons, and I found it really easy to use. I think it would benefit from some kind of a backlight, but once you get the hang of it, you really don't even need to look at the buttons. And lastly, we'll talk about the picture. Now, I was impressed by last year's QLED sets, and this year's no different. It's a native 10-bit panel, which I was happy to see. The colors right out of the box were a little saturated for my taste, but all it took for me at least was to set it to movie mode, and it toned everything down and made the picture really incredibly realistic. That being said, not everyone's gonna like this particular setting, and you can always fine-tune it in the expert picture settings menu to get it really to where you are happy. Contrast was on point with great details in the really dark and really bright scenes, and with HDR Plus mode turned on, it made them even better. It's an edge-lit screen that does an effective job of keeping light bleed in check, and the native motion rate of 120 Hz keeps things looking natural on screen, even through fast action. Samsung also gives the ability to bump this to an enhanced motion rate of 240 Hz, which you can use when necessary, but like the colors, you have some adjustment options. Outside of CES, this is the first QLED set we've gotten to take a close look at least the 2018 versions, and I think we may see Samsung give other people's OLED TVs a run for their money this year. And this isn't even their top-of-the-line QLED set. So for someone looking to upgrade their TV, this is going to be a great model to consider. Do you think QLED is the way to go over OLED? Make sure to let us know in the comments. As always, we appreciate you checking out our video, and be sure to subscribe so you get updates whenever we post new content.